read through the instructions and looked at the pictures here on this sheet, and I've also looked at all the parts on the plan and figured out what it is that I'm going to do. Now, in the instructions, it says in instruction number 3 for the wing, it says after part numbering. Now, what this means is that at the back of the instructions we have pictures or diagrams of all the parts in the box with numbers, but these parts in the box itself do not have numbers. As you can see here, there are no numbers. So what we have to do is find these boards on these pages and transfer all the numbers over to these. So what I'm now going to do is I'm going to separate plywood boards like this and balsa boards like this, and then treat them differently. Now I've already started marking these. You find the boards, like for example this one here, it's panel number 4. You find it here, and this part here is W14A, this one also, and here we have E7, here is C1, so mark that there. This is C2, here we have D1, this is a dihedral gauge for the wing, and here we have C3. I've already done this one with the doublers, etc. This one is here 2mm birch ply, which it really is. It's panel number 5, and I cross here to say that I've found it. And here we have F10 and E1. I will probably not be using E1 because I'm not going to make a motorized version. Now I'm going to go through the rest of these and mark them up, and then we're going to have to get these off the boards. Now I'm going to get these parts out of the boards that they come in, and because there are two different ways of manufacturing these, one is CNC routed and the other is laser cut. There are two different tools that I need to use. The first, for the laser cut parts, is just a scalpel. You can see that the laser has left little parts where you just cut very gently through, and when you've done that, the part comes out. This is much better than just breaking it out, because doing it this way leaves a little bump that you can sand away, but if you break it out it could break into the part, and you don't want that. So now I'll just have to carry on with these. Here it is, and one more. There we are. Now this is empty and we can put it aside. Now to get the parts out of the plywood, we need a little more robust tool, and I use this. This is just a broken hacksaw blade with a piece of shrink tubing on it to make it easier to hold, and I simply use that to saw out the parts from the board. Again, it's much better to do it this way than just break it out, because if you break it out, it might not break the way you want it to do. There. Now, here is a part from on the inside that needs to go away. Like that. In addition, you can see that the corners, like this one here, is round, because the bit that was used to route this out is round, but the corner needs to be sharp. So again, I use the hacksaw blade and just gently saw a couple of times into the corner, making it sharp. And it's best to do that as you take each part out. So there is F3 ready. Now I have to just do the rest of these. I'm finished cutting out everything, and what I do is I bunch together things that are the same. Like, for example, here are the ribs, everything marked with a W. I take and put together like this, and then I can use a painter's tape like this, and wrap around it. So here I've got everything I need for the wings. These bundles are for the tail. Here's the canopy and the fuselage formers. Here's the fuselage and the inside of the fuselage sides. Some things, like for example these are just sort of braces that go inside the wing, and here are some webbing for the wings. There's no need to cut all these out until we need them. Now, what we cut them out of, oh yes, these. I'm not going to be using these, so I'll just put them in this little baggie, and I'm going to keep them until I decide to throw them away. What we cut them out of, like this, is just waste. You can't really do anything with it, so this just goes into the bin. Sometimes there are bigger parts in this, which, like for example here, you can take away and save for later use in something. This is what they call scrap. So if you're asked to use a scrap piece of wood, this is what you take it from. So the next bit is to take these and glue them together to make the aeroplane, and we will begin with the wings.